welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. Thank you for joining. As this is a new channel, we're trying out different things, seeing what it is that I want to kind of stick to, throwing it all out there, and we'll see which ones stick and what doesn't. This video is kind of going back to my roots, if you will. Way back when I used to do a lot of blog posting. There was a period back, I think it was when I was in college, I did a lot of blogging on this website called BuzzNet. It was one of the branch websites of BuzzFeed. I actually have no idea how I stumbled on it. The community that I got plugged into was primarily there for concerts and like punk rock music, but it did kind of shift more into pop culture as well, which is why I stuck around. And it was just a fun place because it was one of those like rare situations where I actually like got involved with their online community. I made some friends. I still keep in contact with some of them through like social media, and I've actually met a couple of them in person over the years. So it's actually like a really cool thing that kind of happened in that period of time. And I was really into doing movie and TV reviews primarily. And actually, one of my good friends when I was in high school and college, she worked at a movie theater. So there were a few years where we went to watch everything. As in, like, I probably skipped a whole lot of college and went to movies with my friend. And it was just great. It was a good time. We got to watch them for free. I did reviews. It was just so fun. At some point, the website, like the community kind of died down, and then the website was taken down. I think it just kind of shifted, as in like a lot of people that we really enjoyed who worked at BuzzNet started leaving, and then the community just kind of like went their separate ways. So after that, I came in and out every now and then and would like make my own blog posts and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's always fun, but I never had that like community again where we all like loved seeing each other's posts. I also just like loved watching TV and movies growing up. It was like my thing. Like I was at home all the time and I watched a bunch of TV and movies. And I want to say like it's only been like in the last few years that I haven't like watched as much as I used to, just because there's not enough time in the day. But I have here and there gone back and forth with different blog pages and have done some, but like nothing super consistently. So I thought it would be fun to bring it to this medium because why not? I did kind of fall off on my movie game. I like no longer have the access to just watching free movies all the time, and I still love TV. I would say that I actually do prefer watching TV shows over movies, but the last few months I kind of got back into, I want to say like the last year or so, I kind of got back into watching movies. I, on occasion, will go to the movie theaters. I recently got a scratch-off poster. It's a little outdated, but I got it from a friend's shop, and it's 100 essential movies. And I thought it would be fun to just kind of go through it because it's a whole lot of decision fatigue to scroll through and try to figure out what to watch. Sometimes I just need to save some time and know what I'm going in with. And B, seems like a fun way to like watch some like classic movies. There's a good mix of classics, comedy, drama, a little bit of everything in between. So for this series of 100 essential films, I am going to get started with a movie and give my review take on it. So first up on the review list is going to be Good Will Hunting. I know I've watched it at least once many moons ago. I may have seen it a couple times, but like whenever the last time I watched it was a really long time ago, and I know that I remember the premise of the movie, but I don't think it like resonated at the deeper level that it did this time around, which made me fall in love with the movie all over again. I didn't need any more reasons to be obsessed with Matt Damon or Robin Williams, but here we stand re-reminded of how amazing they are. I like knew that it was about, Matt Damon's character Will Hunting, who, grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, if you will, had some rough beginnings, and was this like genius, like closeted genius. And I knew that he solved like a math problem, and I knew that he worked at a school and got found out that he was a genius. That was pretty much the whole premise that I remember. And this time around, it was really about how, the things in your life that bring you down can cause you to stay stuck in that whatever it is that you find comfort in, and you just latch onto it so that you don't have to go through any more trauma or, dive into the unknown, which is scary and is not guaranteed. And that really resonated with me this time around. But to give this like an overall movie rating, here are some of the like things that came up while I was watching the movie. One of the things about the characters that I thought was great and really like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, was Casey Affleck, and one other guy who actually don't know who he is. He also doesn't speak a whole lot in the movie. Specifically, Matt and Ben, is that like they're so young, and you can tell that they're so excited and young. I mean, they're just so young. They're like babies in this movie, but you can tell that they're like giving it their all. They're like young and hungry, and I keep coming back to young because you can see that there's a playfulness in them and like a goofiness about them that speaks to the age that they are in the movie, probably in real life too, but it also kind of gives you that like sense of innocence, because I mean they're still pretty funny in things that they do later on in life, but like I feel like they were much more serious. They're also much more like dramatic actors, and this is a drama, but you can like really see the lightness come through in this movie. They're comfortable, they're having fun, they are goofy, they're just having a good time making it, and I think it comes through in this movie quite a bit. Yeah, I have Matt Damon's speech delivery is impeccable. His monologue abilities are amazing. The other person in this movie that truly shines is the late, great Robin Williams, who we truly need to take a second for, because there's just no one like him. There's no one who will ever compare there's no point in trying. Like, he brought such a light to the world and gave us more than like any of us deserved, because in this movie, in Dead Poet Society, I mean, his lines in the movie, most like some of them are like obviously like he didn't write it. He does ad lib some lines that are fun too. But the emotion he brings to it, the authenticity that he brings to it, do you believe him? In this movie, and from what I remember in Dead Poet Society, like he is amazing. And then at the same time, this guy with this depth of emotion and ability to really like dig into your soul makes you laugh so hard you can cry, like, or just brings the biggest smile to your face. It's not in this poster of movies, but I really want to go watch Jack, which so random. I love all of his movies. Like, I will rewatch most of them. I will probably do a rewatch of just his movies. That might be another thing. If you have a favorite Robin Williams movie, please let me know in the comments, because I want to watch all of them. Jack was such a like sweet movie. It was also so like sad. He plays a kid in a grown man's body, and it's just the he's just so infectious. He just is amazing. In any movie, any show, I remember watching talk shows of his interviews, and he's just truly always trying to make everybody around him have a good time and feel great and feel seen and feel appreciated. There's a scene where he is, talking about not being perfect, and is giving an example of his wife, and how she farts. And you can just like see it in the scene. Amazon Prime pops up these like trivia things throughout the movie if you want to look at it, and one of them was like how that scene was like primarily ad-libbed by Robin, and that's why Matt Damon is like cracking up so hard, which you can like see that it is true, genuine, real life laughter happening in Matt Damon, and he's like trying to compose himself as the scene becomes more serious. But the best part of the trivia is, if you notice the scene, they're laughing, but the camera is shaking, and it's probably because the cameraman was laughing too. So it's not just his scene partners, it's everybody. Everybody was infected by his grace, his presence, and most of us are not lucky to have crossed paths with him in this life, but these movies speak volumes of how amazing he is. It was actually pretty interesting to see kind of how life was before all of this, being bombarded constantly about what other people are doing or what other people think, or seeing people's highlight reel and kind of doing this comparison situation. There was still some of that in the movie, in the sense of like, once people did become privy to his genius, they wanted to impose what they thought he should do into his life, and he had to really consider what it is he wanted to do. And you see in the movie, there are moments where he's either at his apartment alone, or so many scenes of him in the subway looking out the window and thinking, and so many moments of being introspective where, I mean, it's terrible to say because it's so like, just like second nature. Is that the right phrase? Sometimes I say things and I'm like, is that a real thing? It's just come so naturally to pick up your phone and scroll when you're not doing anything, or just turn on the TV if you're sitting in the living room. I mean, there's really not a moment that I'm not doing something or being occupied by something. Truly, like listening to music, listening to a podcast. It's very rare to sit with yourself and be with your own thoughts, because sometimes it can be scary or it's uncomfortable being in that like pure quietness. But I do think there was a point in time where it wasn't so. I feel like that plays into the whole being so anxious or depressed, is being bombarded consistently with all of the amazing things that other people are doing, or the things that you could be doing, or comparing yourself to everybody else. So that really stood out to me. Obviously, the movie wasn't a commentary on anything like that because none of this existed then, but I did just like those scenes that were filmed of showing him really, there are moments where he's by himself and he has to figure it out on his own. Like, I really appreciated those moments because I do think those are the moments that are important, so that you do have the time to reflect on what it is you want to do. There are some really great quotes in this movie, and I did feel personally attacked. I think I need to print them out and tape it on my wall because they were amazing. They were just like, there was one whole scene in the movie. I'm going to bring up the quote real quick. Punched me in the gut. You'll never have that kind of relationship in a world where you're afraid to take the first step, because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. If that doesn't kind of capture the essence of why I'm doing this, everything I've been kind of saying, even with this mentality I have right now of getting comfortable being uncomfortable, I think that's a huge part of it, is that like I'm constantly thinking about what could go wrong, or what if I don't actually succeed, or it isn't what I expect it to be. Like, what if I fail? Like, all of the negative options, which there's like thousands and thousands of them. But it's that idea that you just need it to work out once. Like, it just needs to be good once. Or it could just all work out and be great. It's just this like great theme of, you can talk about it, you can read about it, you can say that you're going to do something, but if you're always standing in your own way, like, you'll never actually experience anything or give yourself a chance to experience anything. I mean, that's the part of the quote that really gets me, is like, you haven't even gotten there yet. Like, you're not even letting yourself get closer. You're just thinking about the thing that could happen, and you're not even taking action. Like, it's 10 miles down the road. Like, you can't even, like, we're not even there yet, and you're already closing the door on it. So I felt like this movie was like, sometimes the world just like works out where it's like sending signs and vibrations of like, can I be more clear? Like, God, the universe is like, can I be more clear? Like, you need to just do the things. You just need to live life. Fear is not going to be gone. Like, the fear is not just going to go away. You have to like live through the fear, and sometimes it's not going to work out. And like, there are plenty of times things have not worked out for me, but I think there's this just like heavy sense of like, if I take big leaps, there's going to be big falls, and it's freaking scary, but it's worth it. And I think that's the overlying theme of this movie is like it's really hard to face those things in life that you're either trying to avoid. And one thing in the movie that you can tell with Will's character, which I feel like I resonate with, it's this concept of like, I should just be content with what I have. Like, this is good. I didn't think it could get better than this. And like, I should just be grateful and happy and, you know, like, and I don't want to lose it. What if I do the thing and then I don't even have what I did have before? What if I lose the thing that I got to and was good enough and now it's gone? Yeah. It's something that I'm working on, and I mean I heard the message loud and clear. It literally felt like I was getting punched in the face with this message. Overall, the movie premise, loved it. Acting, loved it. I loved the overall like direction of the movie too. I thought it was like shot really well. You definitely felt like you were in Boston. I will say my favorite cameo in the movie is the Dunkin' Donuts. It was in the movie at least twice with, I'm pretty sure it was actually Ben Affleck with his Dunkin' Donuts coffee cups, which I think is a complete amazing 360 considering he's the current Dunkin' Donuts spokesperson. I mean, fate. It was meant to be. I loved it. Also, being a Northeastern girl, loved me some Dunkin'. And the only thing that was like a little weird for me in the movie was the like scoring. I don't know why, but it just like didn't match the vibe of the movie. It almost felt like extra cinematic. If that, I don't know if that makes any sense. It just didn't fit the vibe of the movie. There were a few times I was like, this is a strange score. That was really like the only big thing that kind of stood out. I'm glad I started with this movie. Maybe the next one will be a completely new one that I haven't seen before. I will say that this is definitely kind of went up in the ranks for me. Not that I had it scored lower before. I remember really liking it. But if we're doing this on a scale of 5 stars, I'm going to give this movie 4.75. Yeah. It's a great movie standalone. It stands up to today, being, what, like 20 plus years later. And it really was a message that I needed to hear right now. Like, it really hit home. And I don't know why I'm defending this. I give it a 4.75 out of 5 stars based off of my rating system. It's up there. It's nearly perfect for me. And that's it. Have you guys seen this movie? What would you give it as a rating out of 5 stars? Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching me be a movie critic, an amateur movie critic. See you later.
Maybe it's too soon, yeah, you know we just met. What I got to lose, gonna send the address.